Hello. I apologise. This is morning me. Just on the horse. I'm just going to share this on Les socials. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, how do I do it? All technology is my. Good morning. Oh God, I'm trying to break my shelf. Hello. Right. I'm just going to go on my other phone so I can see comments. So, the bubble nails. Well, haven't they got everyone talking? So I seem to be seeing so much about it, and I just wanted to have a little rant. Let me just get on YouTube on my other phone. Morning, Ashley. Morning, Kimberly. Oh my God. YouTube, just stop advertising. Miss Lucy's nails. 2 seconds, and I'll be with you. Oh, she's live. Just watch a little ad first. Cool. Okay. Right. The bubble nails, which seems to be getting everyone. Okay. Where's the tape being stuck? I don't know what you mean, Laurie. Has it frozen your end? It could just be that I was staring down and not moving for a bit. Right, okay. Bubble nails. Hello. Would you like to join us? Would you like to join us, Maxi Pad? Okay. Come in. Max is having his. Oh, is he the cutest puppy? What do you think about bubble nails? Give me a shake it, yeah. Oh, right. So, it is a bit early, Julie. It is. I don't sleep. So, the bubble nail thing. I don't know what's going on. Oh. We need to die and sort this mop out today because it is just terrifying at the moment. Right. I had all my thoughts planned in my head. So, bubble nails are really big at the moment. And as always, with any craze in the nail industry, it seems to really be separating people. Like, you either love it or you hate it. I don't really care. I tried it the other day. I can't do it. So we're going to try it again later because I want to be able to do that. I'm not really bothered by it. I think it's a really cute nail art technique. Yeah, whatever. But there are just... I keep off social media a lot. Like a lot. Because... I find it hard to bite my tongue at times. So I have to wind my neck in a lot. And I definitely stay off a lot of the groups. And recently I've been looking and not really commenting on a few groups. Just like the general posts, stuff like that. There was some the other morning I was sat there and I was genuinely like, what? Like it's not even some of the questions asked were quite worrying, but some of the responses are terrifying. But the one that I can't like step away from at the moment is this bubble nail. So first of all, a lot of us consider ourselves to be nail artists. You know, whether you're a nail tech or a nail artist, your job is artistic. And art is something that is supposed to test the boundaries, push the boundaries. You should be able to use anything in art. There's nothing you cannot do and call it art. So that's why I'm one for embedding snakeskin and stuff like that, because it's art, isn't it? It's just part of art. It's pushing what you can do and how you can do it. We all use this medium of acrylic or gel, and it's nice to learn your product and see what can be done with that product, and different ways to get different effects from it. So from an artistic point of view, all art is subjective. I don't really like French, she says with 2 crisp French tips on, but I don't rant when I see it. I'm not a fan of... You know, I actually quite like most nail art. I'm sure there's something I'm not really a fan of. It will come to me. But I just kind of like scroll past. We had it a little while ago with the little gel, the round gel flowers. Loads of people loved it, loads of people hated it. I love that we're in an industry that's ever changing and growing. There's new skills, there's new techniques, there's something new coming out every month, every week that we can learn and play with. And I think it's really good to encourage people to not only see what their products can do, but also to push them right, okay, so that's how the bubble thing works. What else can I get a different effect using similar kind of things with? So I think it's good. It pushes people to be a little more artistic. So yeah, so you either like it or you hate it. It's art. It is your choice. I saw someone yesterday. I think it might be Stacey. She commented about how like it's actually driving her mad because she has a fear. She has a fear of patterns that have circles close together. It must be healthy at the moment. Like social media must be awful at the moment because it's on everyone's stream at the moment, bubble nails. So yeah, I mean, if she said it, like she put on one of her comments, she was like, it makes me feel physically uncomfortable, like my skin's crawling, and I'm like, yeah, that's a genuine reason to hate this technique. Totally get what you're saying. But then there's two comments that this is where the ranting's going to start, because there's just these two comments that are pushing me to a limit at the moment. The first one, I don't know which one to start with actually, because they're both going to have me on quite a rant and I'm going to digress terribly. The first one is, in a world of all these like overexposure and people getting allergic reactions and stuff like that, how is putting more chemicals on the skin or on the nail or something good? And honestly, that one makes me want to peel my face off. That upsets me beyond belief because I just think, oh, right, okay. The reason there is such a mass of issues with allergic reactions, with overexposure, with product issues, it's nothing to do with a bit of fairy liquid going on the skin. It's everything to do with, do you know what I personally believe the biggest issue is? Training. It is an unregulated system everywhere, all over the world, to become trained as a nail tech. That, your training, your basic goddamn training, is where overexposure issues come from where allergic reactions come from people not understanding the chemicals and the products they're using and how to safely use them. That's where a lot of the products issues are coming from. Professional only products available to everyone. So it's not a professional only product. I buy products from different suppliers. Some I have had to prove my qualifications, some I haven't. I'm not getting on around about that. I am not going, oh, question this, question that. I'm not being that person. But anyone can get hold of a lot of products, whether they're for professional use or not. If qualifications are not being checked, and if people are not proving the fact that they are qualified and understand the chemicals they're using, and they can get hold of these products, that is where these overexposures will come from. From people being self-taught. Yeah, if you want to be self-taught and do it to yourself. But the dog is chewing something. 2 seconds. What are you doing, you little bugger? Ow! That was my ass. She's back in the room. Sorry, puppy that likes to eat everything. You know, it goes quiet and then you hear this crunch and you're like, oh, what the fuck? Not by the table! No play. We don't play in here. We do play in here, apparently. Yep. So, lack of training, lack of knowledge of the products you're using is causing overexposure. And another massive trend that I see is a giant brush. Okay, like if you do one bead method and you like using a big brush and you can, guys, away from the table, and you can manipulate the acrylic properly and use the brush properly, use a huge brush. Use a brush as big as your face, if you like. Use a big old paintbrush. You see a lot of people doing one bead method with a big brush. And then it becomes a fashionable thing. And then people are like, oh, I want a big brush like that. And then I see so many people using a huge brush. And the whole way through, they're like this. Don't get me wrong, I touch the nail occasionally, the skin around the nail occasionally, but when I'm working, it's like this. Always trying to keep away. These big brushes like this. That is where the allergic reactions are coming from. That is where the overexposure is coming from, because you are drowning client's skin in monomer. What? Well done for showing a total lack of knowledge of the product you're using if you think that is the correct thing to do. Again, as a nail tech, you will occasionally touch the skin. You'll occasionally do that. That will happen. But when you see these huge brushes, pat, 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 that's where the overexposure is coming from. So when people say, oh, it's a chemical, it shouldn't be going on the skin. Well, it's very liquid. Or a hypoallergenic hand soap. Are you telling me your client sat opposite you has never washed a dish or washed their hands? If they've never washed their hands, ew, why there's that opposite you? But if they've never washed the dish, really, I think anyone in your chair will be over 60. They will be aware if they're allergic to fairy liquid, and they will be able to tell you whether they are or not. Guys! No! Fuck off in the other room and do it. Mummy's ranting. Yeah, they don't care. So that's kind of my view on when people say, oh, more chemicals. Right, so from the chemical issue though of the sandwiching, which I think is a different issue to the whole touching the skin and allergic reactions. So my understanding is, I hope anyone that says that, I'm sorry, I'm shaking because these bastard dogs. Out! Get out! I don't mind you playing, but not under my goddamn desk. Sorry, Mummy puts her loud voice on when they're being naughty. Chemical setting the skin. So first of all, anyone that says you shouldn't be putting it on and then top coating, blah, 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 I really hope everything in your salon, you use 100% all the same. Because this slightly touches on my next thing, which is, oh, your insurance won't cover it. Your insurance does not cover you if I was to use, so I mainly use Hazel Dixon and CJP. So if I use Hazel Dixon as my core line, which I do, so I always do a clear base and then I do a clear top. And it's the same if you're using gel polish, if you're using acrylic, anything like that. So you sandwich with the main product. And in the design layer, I sometimes use a CJP colour. I use the Glitter Fairy Glitter. I use Angel Paper. It's cellophane. It's not a cosmetic product. Netting. Out! It's fabric. It's not a cosmetic product. Snake skin. So you look at all these different things that you can use, but officially your insurance does not cover you if I put HD, CJP, HD. If you use Glitterbels, CJP, Glitterbels, your insurance isn't covering you because you're using two different products. They're not meant to go together, and the majority of insurances will not cover you for that. So when people then say, oh, well, you place this chemical in between, but you're sandwiching, you're not putting anything directly onto the natural nail, which is where the issue occur. So you've got your base coat, you've got your colour, then you'll probably have your chrome pigment, then you've put your top coat on, and you'll probably have another top coat to get the effect. And all you've done is you've used these bubbles to create an effect, and then you've wiped them away once it's cured. There's no chemicals in there anymore. All that's done is disperse the top coat and then been wiped away. So if there was a teeny tiny minuscule amount of that fairy liquid or dish soap left before you then top coat or you left it, I really don't think that's going to cause an issue. And I also think that top nail techs like Kirsty Meakin and Hazel Dixon and all the other really big popular nail techs and educators would not be showing this technique if it genuinely was not safe to do. I'm just going to read some comments, then I'm going to go on to my next point. I haven't ranted in ages. Okay, morning. Oh, please, it's very liquid. Yes, that's kind of my issue. I agree with the training issue. You see it all the time. This nail designs by Denise. When people ask questions about greenies, oh, that is one of my pay. What is this? Google it. Like that upsets me. And then you get the people coming back with, oh, well, I didn't get that on my basic training. We're going to touch on that point in a minute because I have more strong views on that. Oh, I'm enjoying a rant today. And there's questions on Facebook. Lack of training is definitely a problem. Susie Parker, agree. Ashley Woods, as a nail tech myself, I feel you. Preach, thanks. Good morning from Jacksonville, Florida. Morning, Susan. Good morning from Miami, Florida. Oh, I love Miami. Is just so beautiful. Ashley Woods loves CJP. So do I. Danny Webb, I'm glad I'm not the only dog mummy who curses at my babies. This is me being very polite to them at times. I'm now having human babies. And you actual mothers of human babies, like hats off to you. Like, how you're not in jail for murder is beyond me. Nailed Lines by Denise. You see it all the time with that as well. Monomer, different from acrylic, causes a different chemical reaction than the same brand products. Exactly. And this is something I've put on my website, recommended reading. Could you all just go and read Doug Schune's books? He is a... Hey! Max! He was castrated and keeps licking his empty ball sack. All wanted to hear that this morning, but I don't want it to get infected. Okay, yes, that's another thing. There is no such thing as a universal monomer, and you shouldn't be mixing brands, full stop. So if you're getting upset about washing up liquid and you do that, you need to learn which is a higher priority. Sophie, it's literally fairy liquid. We use it to wash dishes with on our hands. Those questions are worrying. Yeah, yes. Okay, so the thing about, we didn't cover that on my basic training. Do you know what my basic training was actually quite the filing technique, contraindications, the care and storage of chemicals was amazing. And I was through Essential Nails, so online, and I actually, if you get online like Essential Nails, is 1,000 times better than the majority of people are coming out of colleges and one-day courses. One-day courses, definitely. So I've got a lot of time for that. But it taught the old Apex. The majority of basic training teaches the old Apex. I don't refer to the European new Apex as the new Apex. It's the European Apex. It's been around a decade. We should all be using it standard. It is stronger. It is better. I'm not going to go into that right now. But when I first trained, within a few weeks, I went on the Facebook groups, stuff like that, and I started saying, oh, I wasn't taught that. Now, I could have sat there and gone, well, I haven't been taught that. But I went, oh, I'm going to go and do a skill building course and learn how to do that then. Cool. I wasn't, if you've missed out on training about contraindications, stuff like that, do you know what you need to do? Here we go. Here are some other books you want to read. So Melody's Standard Nail Technician. But there is a whole chunk in this about how to look after your chemicals, how to look after your products, contraindications, anatomy. If I get one more person that doesn't know the difference between a hyponychium and an eponychium trying to tell me about the state of my nails, really. So that's a good thing. Light reading before bed. You know, some of the other ones, The Complete Nail Technician, Marianne Newman. Seriously, I mean, she is just God in the industry, isn't she? But again, this covers everything you would want to know. So if you have missed out in your initial training, that's really unfortunate, and I'm sorry you went through that, but there is no frigging excuse to continue when your argument is, well, I didn't do that in my initial training. Well, do it now. All the Doug Schune books I've got on my Kindle. I've got Kindle versions because it's easier than having a book. So I have my Kindle in my bag all the time. If I'm sat running at the doctor, stuff like that. I've got my magazines, I've got my playtime books, and then playtime books. They're normally like fantasy fiction, not like that, like Terry Pratchett, you dirty birds. Or I've got Doug Schune on there, because this is quite big to carry around. But, you know, when I get 5 minutes where I'm sat and I'm like, oh, what should I do? I'll just read a few more pages of that. If you truly love this industry and you truly love your job, you should be educating yourself and increasing your own training. So that is no excuse. I'm digressing terribly. You have to invest in safety, pay a few dollars. Exactly. And then I think if you had invested, if your basic training missed that, then you need to invest in more training. But then I think when you have that understanding of the products, something like putting a bit of fairy liquid on to make a bubble effect would not upset you, because you're like, no, I think the product's fine, it can cope with that. The other big thing that people are saying is, I'm pretty sure your insurance won't cover that. Your insurance doesn't cover anything. Like, oh my God, the amount of stuff your insurance would not cover. Because that's what insurance is. They don't want to pay out. If there was ever an issue, they will find a reason not to pay out. How many of you have got insurance and you didn't have to show your certificates when you got insurance? But if you claim, you then have to prove qualifications. Is that the dodgiest part of getting nail insurance? No. don't you take my money for 12 months and then later on go, oh no, it's the wrong qualification, so sorry. No, they should insist on making sure that you're qualified before offering insurance. A lot of that changed recently. A lot of them don't insist on seeing qualifications, but you have to prove it if there was ever a claim. It just proves that the insurance across the board, not just on the nail industry, is a money-making thing. Come on. So when you have that argument of your insurance won't cover it, your insurance won't cover it if you use a different colour design powder. It won't. If I use CJP as my core and then I use a glitter bells in the middle, your insurance won't cover that. You've used two different systems. That's not correct because you have not used the systems as they are designed to be used. They should be used as a complete system, which will prevent product breakdown. So when you put them together, you could create a product breakdown. That is more likely to have a product breakdown than using fairy liquid to create some bubbles on your nails. It's the same as the Sharpie thing. Again, the Sharpie is being sandwiched by 2 layers of gel polish. It's not going to make any difference. Okay, you might get it on the skin, but again, if your ladies or gentlemen are sat opposite you or non-binary, I get very confused about what I'm supposed to say these days, and they've never come in contact with a Sharpie, it would be amazingly bad luck if you touched them teeny little bit on the cuticle with a Sharpie and they drop down dead. You know, it's all about the risks. So anyway, I'm going to read some more comments. And then I think I'm finished with the rant. So if you have any more comments, guys, and you want to keep this rant going after 20 minutes, feel free to. Right. You have to invest in your safety, pay a few dollars more, and avoid a costly lawsuit later. Exactly. I love when they get them mixed up. Tickles me to death. Oh, hypernicum and epinicum. Yeah, people always complain about that. And I'm like, oh, you didn't cut the cuticle. You're not supposed to cut the cuticle ever. That's the one that's so much on YouTube at the moment, is about people's comment, oh, you didn't do enough cuticle work. I don't do a Russian manicure, no. Because that's nothing that your insurance, no, I don't think any UK insurers cover you for Russian manicure. It's too invasive. There's no, there's no accredited training for Russian manicure in the UK that I've found actually accredited. There might be now. I haven't checked in the last few months, but yeah. Anyway, that's another thing. It's just not covered. So yeah. And then when people do that, and airbrush pictures from Pinterest, yeah, of course they're cute, of course they're different. And I really like it when I get the pictures sent in and people are like, I want these. And I look at them, I'm like, you know, that's just a tip. They've done the art on the tip and then they've stuck it on for the picture. That's not an actual nail. That's not, no. Oh, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, it's like when you see those people, you take that picture into your hairdresser and she's got a really sleek, gorgeous grey hair and you're like, that's a wig. That's what it looks like, that. Right. Oh my God, I love you. I love you too, Ashley, thanks. There's like, right, Lady Red. It irks me when they get into a debate about it. Yeah, I had someone commenting on one of my things recently, and she got on a rant, and I just said, no, that's actually this. You should probably redo your anatomy research and retrain yourself. I don't need that. I know the difference. Well, you don't actually. You got it wrong, darling. What? Keep nibbling at it. You're gonna cry. Good evening, Miss Glitter Fairy from the land down under, aka Australia. You should come for a visit and totally do my nails. If you want to pay for me to come do your nails, I will happily come to Australia. I did my VTCT. Sorry, loads of letters together, I get confused. I was only taught gels, did a course in acrylic and got myself a diploma. See? I researched and found a very comprehensive training program that taught everything worth the extra tuition. And it is, and like, don't get me wrong, like a lot of people do a one-day course and they go, oh, there is a lot to learn about this. But then it's the difference between going, oh, well, I've done my course, I'm qualified, or going, I'm going to invest and I'm going to learn. That is where the difference is. I'm teaching myself to do acrylic, but I'm trying to do it properly and take my time. I just can't afford to pay for a course. Can I get those books secondhand? You get the same response from me as I always do. Please just save up and do a course. But you can buy these books, go on Amazon. You'll be able to buy those books. You'll be able to buy Doug Shoe, and you'll be a step ahead of all the other people self-teaching because you're actually making the point of investing in that education so that hopefully you can then, when you have the money together to do a course, you will be able to be a step ahead. All I'll say is if you're doing it on yourself, that's your own thing, but please, Gaynor, don't work on other people because they can still see you even if you're not qualified. You have to prove it to buy from reputable companies, as you should do. Tracy, yep. Yep, Amazon. Go to Amazon for the books. Thanks, Kimberly. Haha. I got all 3 books on Amazon. Yeah, Amazon. Amazon's amazing. None of these, and like the books, this is the funny thing. The education in these books, that's not hidden. It's not secret. You can get it. Just go on Amazon and just go nail training books, and you'll be able to get it that way. And it does just set you apart if you just make the effort to put a bit more into it. Now I had a bit that I was going to say about insurance or something, but it's totally gone. So I think I'm ranted out. So unless anyone else has any other comments, I'm going to go away. But that was kind of all I wanted to rant about. Just, yeah, bubble nails are not going to be an issue when it comes to allergic reactions, insurance, stuff like that. I think we're all taking it a little too seriously there. Come on. Thanks, Lucy. Thanks, Kimberly. I haven't really done much, I just ranted. Which I haven't done in a while. Did my nails last night. Took me 4 hours. Ta-da-da. Using Hazel Dixon's Easy Gel. That was the other thing I was going to say. How many people have done an acrylic course and use a gel top coat? You're an NSS. Unless you have a gel polish or a hard gel certificate. And you've got to check what your gel top coat is, because some are soft gel. So if you've got a gel polish and an acrylic certificate, they're fine. But if you're using a hard gel top coat, which is the file off only, not acetone removable, then again, you should have a hard gel certificate to use that. If you use 3D gels, you should have a hard gel certificate because they're a hard gel. I have done a video, but God knows when I'm going to edit it, because I have another like 20 videos left to edit. Just going to order some books. Good. I have a list. If you go on misslucy's.co.uk, there's about me and then recommended things, and it's basically recommended salon products, blah blah blah. But I've got a recommended reading thing, so I've got links to some of the books that I recommend. We were taught to file the acrylic to achieve that shiny results without the need for a gel top coat. Oh, you buff! Oh my god, my hands would die. When I was taught, that was how I taught it too. We'd like buff, 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 which is how you do it in a competition. You don't gel top coat, you still buff, I think, in a lot of competitions. Not that I compete, but I'm pretty sure this is what put me off competing, because I was like, my wrists cannot. Buff, 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 buff. No. I do that. I only use CJP system. I'm not sure what that was to, but slowly raises hands. Are you one of those with only acrylic and not a gel? That was another comment I kept seeing on on a lot of the groups. Oh, do you have to fill out a client consultation form? That's one thing your insurance actually points out to you when you get your insurance. It clearly states that you will be filling out a client consultation form. So again, if you don't fill out a client consultation form for every client, you're an NSS. Simple as that. It really is as simple as that. Yes, I was taught to buff. Tedious. Yeah, I know. I was taught to buff. My poor little hands. But that's why gel top coat. I mean, isn't that great that we work in an industry that is, like, just in the last 5 years since I trained has changed so much. That I just think that sometimes when people get a bit too knickers in a twist over things like a bit of soap bubbles, you're like, really? I think it's one of those things that of all the issues in the nail industry, that isn't a big one. The lack of regulation is a big one. The fact that nail bars are going unchecked, and especially recently with those poor people found in that container, and you know, some of them are brought over. It's the modern slave trade, nail bars. So stop being racist, stop being, oh, they're stealing my customers, start being, we shouldn't be standing for this because it's modern day bloody slavery. And every time you go to a nail bar, yes, you're using crap products, yes, you're not giving a crap about your own nails, you're going to people that are undercharging for the service, you're actually helping to fund this slavery. You know, it has, I could get on such a rant about it. I just think it's one of those things like, that thing about the sanitary towel, it's not allowed to have the woman symbol on anymore. Of all of the concerns facing the LGBT community, again, it's not meant to be offensive, I don't, and they've added a letter. Is there Q at the end now? I don't know. I get very confused. Of all of the issues facing their community, do you really think a symbol on a sanitary towel is the biggest concern? Which is why when I see these stories, I just think it's ridiculous. So when people get upset about seeing soap bubbles on nails, you're focusing on entirely the wrong thing in this industry right now. if you think that is the biggest concern to get angry about. But it's typical, isn't it? It's how the news works as well. They want to get us angry and upset about all the little things, so we forget about all the big things going on. Really ranting in a different direction now, so we're going to rein it back. A few more comments and then I really am going to bugger off. Oh, I have both, that's fine. I'm on a course with Kat from HD tomorrow. I'm also looking at a gel conversion course, so I can try Easy Gel. Kimberly, do it. Easy Gel is amazing. I love it. I had no idea I needed a certificate to use the gel top coat. If you're only acrylic trained and you haven't got a gel polish or a hard gel certificate, then yes, because you're using a chemical you don't understand and you've not been trained on. And it is as simple as that. But again, it's the lack of education. You've now got the education. You'll be able to go and make sure that you are covered. Sammy, can you imagine bucking mine? I wouldn't, Sammy, no. I'd send you away. Cheers, Lucy. I have a really bad reaction. Use same system, but still developed a reaction. So having recommended rest from chemicals. Louise, unfortunately, that is the problem when you get, it can just happen over time. You can, and this is something that was taught in my basic training, you can develop reactions to it just over time. And the only thing to really do is you need to have a break for normally at least a year for your body to get it all out of the system and then slowly try and bring it back. That's why, like, I'm really obsessed with, like, whenever I do my ladies' nails, as soon as I finish, put the cuticle oil on, and then I always say, go wash your hands for me, give them a really good scrub, because I've got a nail brush. That isn't just to make them clean, it's because as I've been filing, as I've been working, there's acrylic dust all over your nails. So I say really give it a good scrub. If I've ever done a takeoff, especially NSS, I'm like really scrub the nails, get underneath. You want to get all that acrylic dust, everything off so that it won't stick around, because I say it can become an irritant over time. Can I rewatch this? Yeah, I will leave it live because I haven't been too ranty and gone too, I think I've stayed relatively true to the point. So yeah, you can watch this back. Do you have any books for sale half price? No, because I don't sell them. Say no to NSS. Yes, Kimberly, but say it for, yeah, but also, yeah, it's one of those, yeah. Totally agree. New ought to be regulated, doesn't happen in other career choices. It doesn't, but I think, like, even the piercing and tattoo industry isn't that well regulated. So nails will always be lower down from more invasive things like that. I went to a friend to a nail bar and the tech went to remove the previous set with a nail tip. Yeah, but again, they don't have the training, they don't have the education. I thought that was nuts. I'm sorry. Why is this such a big deal? Sanitary napkins. Well, yeah, exactly. But I understand it. But I think the thing that really upset me about it is, like, of all the issues you have, this isn't a big one. Like, every goddamn year it is trotted out that the Conservatives are going to try and repeal the ban on fox hunting. It's always been part of their party that they support fox hunting. It will never, the ban will not be repealed, ever, because they will never carry the votes for it. But every year it comes trolling out as a story, getting everyone angry and upset to detract from other shit. And it is, again, people just aren't focusing on the actual issues. And I think that's the same with a lot of things in the nail industry. People, your issues should be like those burst gel removers. I look at that and I'm like, that is nowhere chemical. You can give me all the SDs and tell me it's vegan and natural as much as you like. No. No. Like, you've seen how it eats away at the gel. No. There needs to be some investigation into that. There's a big thing at the moment with a gel polish brand is having the finger pointed at it for a lot of reactions and issues. I don't know enough about it, all of this stuff. But you then also argue, you just think so many people aren't having these issues. So is it from the lack of education? Is it from the lack of training? Or is it an actual problem with the product? See, that is something, like, to me, what's going on there needs more investigation and concern. It should have nail techs more upset about it than some soap bubbles on nails. And the vegan thing, yeah, Kimberly, we'll not get onto my rants about how nail products and vegan is interesting to me in the slightest. Anyway, right, okay. I feel like I've ranted enough. I feel I'm done. I think I've addressed everything I wanted to. So I hope you all have a lovely Saturday. Go out and buy The Complete Nail Technician by Marianne Newman. I think this might be an old edition, actually. This is the 4th edition. I think she might have done a 5th one, which is another good thing because they update them. So this is the 4th edition. My Melodies is my 6th edition. And Doug Soon, he's got 4 volumes out now. So they do, that to me is a good thing because they keep updating. So yeah, get the latest edition, enjoy. Thank you, Ranty McRanface. You're welcome, Gaina. Can't get on your website, lovely. Wanted to check out recommended reading. misslucy's.co.uk. It was working. Shall I check? I have seen people ask, why do you wear gloves, to protect your manicure? And I'm like, no, to protect my skin. Well, yeah. Thank you for your recommended reading. I'm doing training, but workbook in theory isn't enough. I want more reading material. Yeah, Shayna, just have a little look. To be honest, misslucy's.co.uk. We're working, we're on. So I'm not sure why you can't get on. But if you're getting errors, then just send a screenshot to the page and I'll look into it. Right, so how I responded to all comments. Top chats, live chat. I think I have. I think I've responded to all that. What is the website? misslucy's.co.uk. Nice and easy to remember. But there's just, and I think I've put links to where I bought the books from. And I'm in no way affiliated with any of these books. I'm not sponsored to recommend them. They're just books I've read and I would recommend other people to read. That's it. So, right. Yes, please. Thank you. What is the website? Thanks for the rant. Have a lovely day. Yes, have a lovely day, everyone. I'm going to clean the house. Woo! And I'll see you all soon. Bye.